Zia was the strongest master in the world, capable of unimaginable feats that normal people couldn't even dream of. With just a snap of his fingers, he could turn a bright blue day into a starless night in an instant. These feats were as simple to him as reading an alphabet for a university student. Yet, despite his godlike strength, he suffered some losses that were beyond his power to reverse. One unfortunate day, Zia's home planet, Earth, was reduced to cosmic dust in a cataclysmic explosion. More grief was added to his life when the love of his life, his wife, passed away in a violent accident. In her final words, she asked him to take care of himself, but also reminded him that if she ever found out that he had even thought of getting another wife, she would hunt him down and eliminate him like a wild animal. Zia was extremely burdened by this loss and also became disillusioned with the invincible, yet hollow existence, which is why he slowly grew bored with his own life. He decided to break free of this cycle with the help of reincarnation, a path he had chosen but failed countless times before. To begin a new life, Zia sealed his past, stripped away his memories, and even dismantled his cultivation base before jumping into the vast void of reincarnation. He promised himself that he would persist, even through the fires of hell. An unspecified time later, when Zia woke up, he found himself in a strange world. His mind was as blank as a homeless man who had spent the whole night drinking cheap alcohol. Zia finally emerges and walks the streets of this new world with a branch in hand, like some old man trying to look cool. He thinks that if he has reincarnated as someone strong, he should be able to join a good sect and achieve an ideal life. Meanwhile, a line of young people stands before a gray-haired man to test their internal potential and see if they can become immortal cultivators. Zia soon arrives at this spot and casually asks the old man if he can test his abilities too. The gray-haired master questions why a beggar wants to test his ability. Zia is undeterred by this uncalled-for insult and steps up to the glowing ball. He then places his hand on the ball, and immediately a huge stream of dark energy surges out and soon mixes with a white stream of energy. The old master, who was calling Zia the beggar a few seconds ago, is shocked and realizes that this stranger has the body of an innate talent. Seconds later, a chubby man in a red robe and funny hat steps forward and offers Zia a massive amount of spiritual stones on behalf of the Meteoroid sect. Before Zia can respond, a muscular man with a comical mustache pushes the chubby man aside and boasts that he can show Zia a mountain full of spiritual minerals. Two other men, in blue robes and carrying swords, shove the muscular man away. They insist they want Zia, promising him magical weapons. An overwhelmed Zia tells everyone calm down. He thinks to himself, I didn't expect this much attention. He also notes that innate Taoism sounds like something strong, although he doesn't have an exact idea what it is. Suddenly, two beautiful women appear. Why are people of high standing fighting over a mere boy? One questions. The other woman adds, if all these people are fighting for him, then they also want this shiny new toy. Zia recognizes them. He wonders, why are the two sisters from the demon sect of destiny here? The woman in a skimpy red robe extends her finger. A deep purple spiritual aura flows from it, enchanting the men in the crowd and silencing them. Zia notices that no one dares to speak in their presence. He concludes that the demon sect of destiny must be the strongest. He decides, I must join these two busta babes who belong to the strongest sect. The woman in red wiggles her finger with a deep purple aura near Zia's face. Our sect will accept him, she declares. It is far better than these third-rate sections. After a while, the men at the testing spot come to their senses. They seem to forget what happened moments ago. The chubby man with a funny hat is busy with a kid who begs to be accepted as a disciple to become an immortal. The gay-haired master thinks to himself, I feel like I forgot something important. In the meantime, Zia wakes up in a different place with the two beautiful Big Melon sisters. He mumbles, Where am I? Is this your clan? The sister in red calls him little brother. She asks, Do you know what kind of faction our demon sect is? Zia, nervous, stammers, I don't know what kind of faction it is. The sister in red explains, It is the demon sect of group cultivation. She adds, Your innate Taoism is the best quality for such practices. Zia screams and jumps away from the two sisters. Is your cultivation practice based on morally good things? He questions. The sister in the red robe pulls her robe down seductively. What wrong could there be with it? She asks. The sister with purple hair, who is barely covering her chest, explains, with Zia's innate Tao body, the practice is far more effective and helps our dual cultivation partners grow stronger. The two sisters then press Zia between them, squeezing his face. It is for your own good, they insist. They warn, if you return to the martial arts world, other girls will capture you within 3 days and use you until you die. It is better for your beautiful sisters to use you first to avoid your inevitable death. Zia tries to make an excuse. I am sick, he claims, But the sister in the red robe laughs. "We will treat you if you are unwell," she says. Zia grows nervous and comes up with another excuse. He declares he is only interested in men. The sister in the red robe grows angry. She grabs his collar and warns him to be careful with his words. She suggests that being gay might lead to trouble later. She moves close to him and licks his cheek like a hungry animal. Zia, disgusted, thinks to himself that when this is over, he must refine his morals and become a dignified young man in this new era. But for now, he has to give in. Suddenly, something strange happens. The sister in the red robe stops advancing and starts quivering. The sister with purple hair asks what is wrong and urges her to hurry. But the sister in the red robe is sweaty. She says the aura in Zia's body surges incredibly, making her feel like she might explode. She describes it as exhilarating, then runs away. She tells her sister to go first because her breakthrough came too quickly and she needs stability. The purple-haired sister jumps on Zia and marvels that her sister broke through so fast. She wonders if the innate toe body is that amazing, where even a kiss has such an effect. She moves close and licks Zia's neck just as hungrily as her sister did earlier. Zia thinks to himself that the time has come for him to become a man, but complains internally that all of this is happening so suddenly. Then something odd occurs. He notices the purple-haired sister has also suddenly grown quiet. Zia sees her flustered with red cheeks and tries to touch her, but she tells him not to and runs off, saying she will be back soon. Moments later, the sister in the red robe returns just as Zia tries to leave. She asks why he wants to go, insisting that what happened was only the beginning. She grabs his face and kisses him. She says it is time to drain him thoroughly. But seconds after the kiss, a wave of intense pleasure hits her, and she runs away. Zia gets no respite as the purple-haired sister returns and starts kissing him again. Zia screams, but the sisters continue to use him as they please. The whole night passes, and Zia's cheeks swell from kisses while the two sisters lie on the ground completely drained. Zia thinks to himself that, in the end, they didn't do anything serious. He wonders what would have happened otherwise, noting he only got kissed all night to such an extent. He tries to wake the red-robed sister and asks if she is still awake, but she doesn't answer. He internally reflects that they didn't pose a real threat to him, perhaps because their levels were too low. He considers that if what they say is true and he encounters more powerful women after leaving the demon sect of destiny, he will face even worse harassment. Zia decides that staying is not an option and plans to escape. Before leaving, Zia notices a ring. He recognizes it as a storage ring from the ancient books of the Forbidden Land. He takes it, thinking it is fair compensation for what they did to him. He says goodbye to the sisters in his mind and immediately escapes from their sticky fingers. After a while, Zia reaches a jungle and wonders what his next move should be. He considers dual cultivation too dangerous for now and decides it is best to join a new sect. He knows that his innate toe body makes him the perfect human cauldron and resolves to keep this a secret. At that moment, a burly man with a strange blonde hairstyle from a failed 2000s punk rock band, wearing questionable clothes with chest hair exposed, shouts at Zia to stop. He threatens to plunder Zia if he doesn't fight back immediately. Zia, exasperated, asks if the man is kidding and yells out that he just escaped. The big man tells him to shut up and dismisses any further chit-chat. Zia thinks to himself that those sisters caused this mess, and now he is angry. He clenches his fists, ready to punch the man, but instead offers the ring he stole from the sisters, pleading for mercy and saying it is all he has. To his utter horror, the big man refuses to even look at the ring. Zia insists it is everything he owns and invites the man to search him, but the big man clarifies he doesn't want money. He explains that he plunders people to satisfy his sexual appetite instead. Zia realizes he is in deep trouble and tries to run, but the big man chases him with a mace, attempting to stomp him. Zia thinks to himself that he doesn't like dudes and regrets not staying with the demon sect. Zia runs from the big man and pleads for him to stop chasing. The big man refuses and pursues Zia, swinging his mace to strike him down. The big man wonders to himself how this ordinary man can outrun him, a cultivator. He smashes his mace to eliminate Zia once and for all, but Zia leaps past the attacks and thinks he cannot outrun the man forever. He fears that sooner or later he will be plundered from the inside by this big dude if this continues. However, Zia subconsciously and acrobatically dodges the big man's relentless assaults. After an hour, Zia reflects that they have been at it for so long. Yet he feels no fatigue. He wonders if the two sisters from the demon sect caused this, recalling their claim that his innate Tau body makes dual cultivation highly effective. He considers that the kisses he endured might have given him power. Meanwhile, the big man senses Zia's aura and realizes he has reached a breakthrough, but vows to capture him regardless. He hurls his mace at Zia, aiming to hit him, and the weapon obliterates a tree into pieces. Zia dodges once more and hides behind a nearby tree. The big man shouts for him to come out, mocking his cowardice. Zia thinks to himself, I narrowly avoided death. My remains would have been scattered otherwise. He quietly ponders, what should my next move be so that I can make it out safely? Zia glances at his hand and notices the ring stolen from the sisters has split into two. He wonders if it reacted because of his breakthrough and decides to check its contents. He turns the ring upside down and various objects spill out, including a red, paper-like item. Zia catches everything and sifts through the items one by one. He identifies a paper talisman and notes a bottle with a pleasant smell, but dismisses it as useless. Searching for something practical, he finds two more bottles with a pinkish fluid inside. I wonder if they contain a drug, and what might this strange-looking substance do? He speculates. Suddenly, the big man shakes the tree Zia is hiding in, causing Zia to drop one bottle, which lands on the big man's head. Zia hopes it isn't poisonous, but considers that, given it came from the sisters, it's likely pretty useless. He jokingly thinks, if I can't win, I might as well learn to enjoy it. Then, snapping back to reality, he prays for something useful among the items. Searching again, he discovers a pink, rubbery, stick-like object. Zia grabs it, believing it can be useful, and infuses it with spiritual power. He leaps from the tree, attacks the big man, and strikes him on the head with the pink stick. Surprisingly, the big man collapses to his knees and passes out. Zia reflects, I managed to control the situation, and marvels at his energy. Feeling a surge of Kai swirling through his body, he considers injecting more spiritual power into the pink stick, but decides against it. Attributing its odd nature to the demon sect of Destiny's unrefined weaponry, he strips the big man of his gear, clothing, and equipment, mocking him, you deserve to be plundered. After trying to plunder others, Zia plans to find a town quickly and escape the demon sect's influence. He recalls that spirit stones can cover travel expenses and that most towns have teleportation arrays. So, he aims to locate one nearby. 3 days later, Zia arrives at the entrance of the King Fong clan, which is near a group of rocky mountains. A guard stops him and demands, what is your purpose? Zia explains, I seek to become an apprentice in the clan. But the guard, irritated, tells him, leave. I doubt this scrawny stranger meets the requirements. The guard points to a nearby notice. The criteria for disciples are at least 15 years old and at the Kai gathering stage. The notice warns that those who don't qualify should leave immediately. Seeing this, Zia apologizes. The guard orders him to never return. Zia thinks to himself, I only started cultivating 2 days ago. While I reach the 4th stage of Kai gathering, I don't meet the age requirement. Just then, a child notices Zia's strange attire. The child points it out to their mother, who tells the child to ignore him and move along. Zia wonders to himself, what will I do next? After a bit of thinking, Zia sneaks back to the guard. With puppy-like innocence, he greets him. Why have you returned? The guard asks. Zia puts the guard in a forceful headlock and shows him 2 gold coins obtained from the ring stolen from the 2 sisters. Amused by the coins, the guard suddenly begins to listen attentively. Hard work might compensate for your recent attainment of the 4th stage of the spirit condensing realm and lack of exceptional talent, he remarks. He instructs Zia to wait and promises to summon the elder, but clarifies, I cannot influence the acceptance decision. Zia expresses gratitude for the guard's help and feels relieved. Zia thinks, I made a small profit. The gold from the sisters' rings prevented my journey from stalling due to a lack of funds. My escape from the demonic sect ensures safety, at least for the time being. Zia thinks amusingly. My legend as an unmatched expert begins here. As Zia ponders, a young, beautiful, busted girl named Uera approaches and sniffs him from behind. Zia recoils in horror and asks, who are you? Uera, snapping back to her senses, introduces herself and calls Zia senior. Since you seek to enroll and appear older, the title fits, she explains. I recently joined the sect, but you are the weakest senior I have ever met, she notes. This remark hurts Zia. Disappointed, he says, I will not disturb you further. However, before he can run away, Uera stops him, sniffs him again, blushes, and compliments, your sin is nice. Zia is completely baffled. Zia thinks, what does she mean? I'm not a bamboo rat. What are her intentions? Right at that moment, 3 large men, dressed only in underwear, appear and pose as if in a bodybuilding show. Maintain social distance. They warn Zia, calling him a troublemaker for Uera. An old man with a funny hat and blue robe arrives at the spot. Zia recognizes him as the leader of the King Fong clan, Elder Pan. He greets him respectfully. I want to enroll in the King Fong clan, he states. The elder, who thinks Uera and Zia were making out publicly, comments, youth is great, but personal space must be respected. He addresses Uera, not Zia. Arrogance and recklessness, he reprimands her. Do not harass the new disciples. Uera protests. I found a good scent, she claims. But the elder interrupts. The sect has plans regarding the ancient ruins, he says. We must avoid offending the new disciples. He evaluates Zia silently. He lacks aptitude, he notes. But the old man recognizes his strength and seriousness about cultivation. Teachable, the elder deems Zia. You are now an outer disciple of the King Fong clan, he informs him. He instructs the guard. Escort Zia to his room later. But before they leave, he advises Zia, be diligent in cultivation. Later, in his new room, Zia wears clean white robes. He examines the provided items. Basic techniques and cultivation aid, he determines, but the techniques are too basic. He recalls that before gaining a cultivation base, he could not understand such matters. But the forbidden space of chaos contained useful information. He clasps his hands, and a blue aura forms between his fingers. Joining a sect was the right choice, he affirms. I will prioritize raising my cultivation quickly. He reflects on past events. I feel like I have known Uera for a long time. He thinks familiar, but he quickly dismisses her as too popular and troublesome. Eventually, Zia mentally resolves to set boundaries with her. Suddenly, a knock interrupts his thoughts. Zia, busy cultivating, asks, who is at the door? From the outside, Uera announces herself. I want to live with you, she requests. Is it acceptable? Zia looks at Uera for a few seconds, and she gazes back with shining eyes. He slams the door in her face. You cannot enter, he informs her. Uera knocks persistently. Please, Zia, allow me inside your room, she pleads. Zia responds, it will not work. Return to where you came from. Undeterred, she bangs on the door with her hands. Zia, my brother, she calls. I have something important to tell you. Zia hesitates for a while, unsure of what to do. She's not going to leave, he realizes. He has no other option but to open the door. He peeks his head outside. You have 5 seconds to explain why you're acting like a stupid child, he says. Instead of coming up with something smart, she blurts out again, I want to live with you. Zia insists it is impossible. She starts to manipulate him, staring at him with big, beautiful eyes filled with sadness. Zia pretends like he has had a change of heart. He smiles at Uera. Silly girl. He says, what do you mean? He strokes her head like she is some sort of exotic pet and suggests that things will unfold naturally, implying her plan will fail. To her shock, he slams the door again. Leave, he tells her. Nonetheless, Uera refuses to leave. She keeps banging on the door and yelling that she truly likes Zia. He wonders if an older apprentice toyed with her affections and abandoned her. Is that why she has daddy issues? Growing fed up, he decides to secure the door and find earplugs. Suddenly, a sharp blade appears near his head. A sword pierces the door. More swords, spears, and even a chain may strike the door. It trembles as if hit by an earthquake. Behind the door, chaos erupts. Uera has summoned muscular men who pound the door with their fists. Zia stole our sister, they shout. Open it bravely. Zia yells for the men to calm down. I met Uera only today, he insists. Don't believe her nonsense. Overwhelmed, he falls to his knees and prays to the gods. My first day at the sect has already spiraled into such a mess, he laments. Later, Zia allows the annoying girl to stay with him. He is forced to sit with Uera, who hums an annoying tune. She plays with a stuffed rabbit and sings a nonsensical song repeatedly. Irritated, Zia snatches the rabbit away. Explain what you want from me, he demands. Uera asks why Zia doubts her claim of falling in love with him at first sight. Zia wonders if she believes her acting, which fooled the men outside, will sway him. Without any warning, she grabs Zia by the neck and hugs him tightly. A pleasant aroma surrounds you, Uera explains. She admits she does not understand why, but his presence significantly boosts her cultivation. When she arrived at the monastery, she discovered that being close to Zia caused her spiritual power to increase at an unprecedented rate. This effect only kept increasing as she stood physically closer and closer to him. Do you possess a special spiritual route? She questions. Zia pauses briefly to consider his response. He wonders if Uera has sensed his true power. He decides to cook up a false but grand story. I possess the essence of a great Jasper immortal, he discloses. Uera is astonished. Are you truly one of the 36 great celestial Jasper immortals? She asks. She then shares that she carries the star essence of the 72 earth demons, explaining why his presence enhances her cultivation so effectively. After hearing this revelation, everything now makes sense to her. Zia laughs. He just managed to get out of a tough situation by making up a fabricated story. He reflects that his prior study of writings about essences proved useful in doing so. He then turns to Uera. This connection does not mean I am agreeing to assist you in your cultivation journey, he clarifies. He goes back to his old stance and insists she immediately leave the room. He wants her to go out, explaining that there is no relationship between them and the muscular people at the door, so that misunderstanding can be avoided. On the other hand, Uera doesn't care what he's saying. Instead, she produces a ring and asks Zia's opinion of it. She describes the ring as containing spiritual stones, martial arts scrolls, techniques, elixirs, and weapons, offering him anything he desires. She empties the ring's contents before him and apologizes, noting it is all she has presently, but promising more in the future. Zia looms over her, questioning if she truly believes she can buy him with such trinkets. He demands to know who she thinks he is. Uera smiles sweetly and asks if her offer is not enough for him. Initially, Zia feels the urge to scold her, but the generosity of her bribe sways him. He bows respectfully, addressing her as young mistress, and assures her that everything will work out. Uera, delighted, expresses her happiness and relies on his continued support. Meanwhile, in a different location, two men play a board game. Lai, a short, black-haired, intense-looking man, loses to Ming, a slightly fruity man with long white hair. Ming teases Lai, asking why he seems nervous and if it relates to rumors that Lai entered a new student's room. Lai neither confirms nor denies it, but asserts he could track down this new disciple if needed. He adds a sarcastic remark, accusing Ming of feigning concern for Uera while secretly using Lai to eliminate the newcomer. Ming remains silent, thinking to himself that Lai is a coward. He reflects that although others fear Lai, Ming's Zixin sect holds no such fear. Back in the King Fong clan room, Uera declares that now she and Zia will work together, but insists on 3 conditions for their arrangement. First, their relationship remains strictly business, prohibiting Zia from falling in love with her. Second, only she may touch him, and he cannot initiate contact. Third, he must avoid approaching other girls for any reason at all costs. She asks if he understands. Zia, who has been collecting crystals, confirms his understanding despite not listening to what she has to say. Uera, satisfied with their agreement, offers to share techniques, noting his current weakness. She presents him with 3 powerful techniques and asks him to choose one. She explains that martial techniques are divided into 4 stages by strength: heavenly, earthly, dark, and yellow. The first technique, a fire-type dark stage method, ranks among the best available at the King Fong clan. Uera notes that even with 3 to 5 years of effort, there would be no guarantee of acquiring such techniques. The second technique, a low-level thunder-type earth stage, impresses Zia. He begins to imagine its power. Calm down and listen fully, Uera urges. She reveals that her eldest sister gave her this technique. It was to be used as a bargaining chip if she ever needed to curry favors. It enables summoning, amplifying, and hurling lightning at enemies, accelerating cultivation, but often proves fatal to practitioners. Even the King Fong clan possesses this technique, but Uera knows of no one who has mastered it successfully. Thus, she deems it a scam and strongly recommends avoiding it. The third is an attributeless technique and focuses on cultivating as well as strengthening energy. After explaining all this, Uera asks, has Zia considered which technique he wants to choose? However, like a greedy kid who puts his hand in all flavors, Zia expresses a desire for all 3. The limitation to one choice is childish, he says. Greedy, senior student, Uera labels him. You cannot pursue multiple goals simultaneously, she warns. Zia reassures her, but then asks, why do you have the lightning technique, which belongs to the Zixin sect? Uera dismisses any further discussion, noting her elder sister provided them. Zia inquires, is the Zixin sect, home to her sister, ranked as the area's strongest? Uera questions, did you misunderstand what I said? She reveals that recently the King Fong clan discovered a new stash of ancient ruins. Zia admits ignorance about the ruins. Uera teases, I mistook you for a spy from a great sect. Zia responds, I'm merely a free wanderer. Following this, Uera explains that the King Fong clan, despite its weakness, has attracted many new students recently due to the ruins' discovery. Zia acknowledges the influx, but asks, why are you enrolled? She reveals that the ruins, which are hidden places brimming with treasures coveted by cultivators, drew her to claim these riches. Sects like the Zixin sect undermine the King Fong clan, with spies from various groups infiltrating it, all targeting the ruins. The King Fong clan, which is in decline, is forced to watch helplessly as events unfold. Zia ponders the ruins' significance, realizing that their allure risks exposing his primal essence. Uera shifts focus, announcing, we have talked enough and must train. She mentions she has reached the 49th stage of cultivation and proposes that they advance to the next stage together. Zia asks, will surpassing the 9th stage break her internal energy source's limits? Uera, surprised, notes his lack of basic knowledge. I will clarify everything later, she promises, and suggests that he consult the King Fong clan's records. She assumes the lotus posture and begins cultivating, emphasizing practice clarifies specifics. Zia, intrigued, examines the 3 techniques. He starts training alongside her. He sits opposite her, and they work toward a shared goal. Zia reflects that the ninth stage of Kai absorption forms the foundation for expanding his inner source's boundaries. He focuses intensely, having reached the fourth stage of Kai absorption, and aims to push his limits further. He deduces that the Uera's current ceiling is the 50th layer of Kai condensation, which is why she is so eager to train with him. As training progresses, Uera senses herself nearing a new stage, and eventually, she climaxes successfully. Opening her eyes, she finds Zia motionless right in front of her. He is deeply focused in meditation. Unable to resist his aura, she draws close and gazes at him with her big, beautiful eyes. Uera draws very close to Zia, desiring to kiss him as she experiences an intense attraction. But suddenly, she blushes and hurriedly leaves his room. Zia remains still, only hearing the door open and close, but stays silent. Outside, one of the muscular men remarks that Uera's visit to Zia's room likely means nothing, but suggests someone should clarify the situation. These men, who are part of the Uera's support union, vowed to protect Uera, their little sister, until the end. They spot Uera exiting Zia's room and call out her name, asking her to stop. Uera, who wants nothing to do with these half-wits, looks around, asking what is wrong. Noticing her flushed face and disheveled appearance, they question what she and Zia did together. Uera, acting strangely with tears welling in her eyes, insists nothing happened, and if that is all, she must leave. She flees quickly, leaving the men convinced Zia and Uera engaged in something inappropriate. They resolve to eliminate Zia and guard his door, determined to prevent his escape. One man even admits feeling slight pity for Zia and comments that he has an impressive physique. Unaware of the commotion, Zia studies scriptures inside and nears mastery of elemental knowledge. He realizes that absorbing enough Kai will allow him to break through his inner source's limits. He aims to reach the 30th stage of Kai absorption first, but acknowledges that his primal essence's effect on girls like Uera may cause complications. Fortunately, Uera restrained herself, averting a difficult situation. Zia determines that becoming stronger quickly is essential to protect his chastity. He recalls that Uera was provided numerous resources, including a step-less technique called the Unstoppable Path to Inner Freedom, which inspires hope in Zia and proves valuable. He begins reciting its principles. Freedom from doubt allows the heart to guide actions, shaping the world's perception. A doubt-free heart ensures all beings submit, enabling the soul to break through the heavens with equanimity. After 2 hours, Zia reaches the 6th stage. He marvels at his own genius, as if he has accomplished something no one has ever done before. After 4 hours, he achieves the 9th stage and is astonished by his rapid progress. After 8 hours, he attains the 20th stage and begins to consider himself a reborn celestial. By the end of 3 days, he reaches the 50th stage, but reflects that despite his strength, he still has a lot of progress to make. He notices the room's walls cracking and concludes that it is likely due to the release of his spiritual energy. After 7 days, Zia remains secluded, while the men continue guarding outside. Finally, he emerges from his dwelling, and the men notice him immediately. They accuse him of offending Uera, threatening to destroy him. One man, named Brother Mu, rushes at Zia, aiming a fist, but Zia slaps him, sending him flying several meters into a stone block. The other men are stunned and fail to realize Zia has reached the 25th stage of Kai absorption, enabling such a powerful blow. Zia explains he asked them to wait, dismissing their complaints. He adds that he cares little for them and intends to leave. Another man, offended by Zia's boldness, questions if he understands the consequences of his actions. Zia challenges him to deliver punishment personally. The men grow nervous under Zia's cold stare, but he smiles, claiming he jests and urges them not to worry. He points out that Brother Mu initiated the attack, and had Zia not countered, he would be in Mu's place. A man wearing a swim cap declares the conversation pointless, asserting that Zia struck Brother Mu, a fact undeniable. He wonders how this is possible, recalling that Zia, a recent freshman at the King Fong clan, should not exert such pressure, questioning if he imagines it. An elder appears among them, inquiring why they gather. Zia recognizes him as the master he met previously. The men eagerly turn to explain the incident, while the elder observes Zia, recalling that days ago, Zia possessed only the 4th stage of Kai absorption. Now, he struggles to comprehend how Zia's strength has grown so dramatically. All disciples greet the elder, respectfully. The muscular men inform the elder that Zia deliberately injured their comrade, Brother Mu, and 2 of them confirm the incident. They argue that, per King Fong clan rules, Zia should face banishment and have his spirit channel severed. The elder, with a disapproving expression, asks Zia if he truly caused the injury. Zia pauses, scratches his head, and considers his response. Although he admits he threw a punch, he says the fight was a 50-50th chance. The elder was angry and demanded he be clear. What do you mean by such vague statements? He questioned. Zia explained that Brother Mu rushed at him, trying to hit him. Zia said he had no choice but to defend himself with a light slap to calm him, unaware it would end so badly. The elder turned to the man in the swim cap. Did things happen as Zia described? He asked. The man apologized, urging the elder not to trust Zia. But the elder argued back that these disciples sneak into the King Fong clan, seeking glory from the ancient ruins. They're always scheming against each other, he said, especially targeting this mysterious boy. He noted that even he couldn't figure out Zia's true strength at first. Zia must be hiding his strength, he said. The elder said the situation was clear. He then called the complaining man forward for punishment. The man in the cap tried to defend himself, but the elder stopped him. Do you think I'm a fool? He asked. He pointed out that clan law protects the defender from punishment. You almost lied under oath, he said. The elder then asked Zia if he had recently joined the clan. Zia said he had, and the elder mentioned that Zia hadn't received any clan funds yet. As payment, these two men will give Zia 3 months' worth of funds, he said. Zia was surprised. Is this too harsh? He wondered. He realized that accepting the payment would cause more problems, as he would risk ruining his relationships with other disciples. After thinking, Zia spoke. Uera helped me a lot. He said, please be kind to these other fools to save that bond. The elder praised Zia's kindness, but said he had to accept the payment. Suddenly, Zia couldn't speak, as the elder blocked his voice to force him to accept. The man in the cap tried to argue, but the elder yelled. How dare you, he shouted. He took away the man's funds for a year. You are useless if you can't execute an attack, he said. The man collapsed, begging not to speak anymore. Zia thought the whole thing was unnecessary and decided to leave quickly. One of the men angrily challenged Zia. Will you accept a one-on-one fight? He demanded. Zia slyly asked if they would leave their comrade, Brother Mu. As he walked away, the men shouted for him to wait. Our problem is not over, they claimed. Zia realized he had gotten himself into more trouble and decided to find a place to hide. Meanwhile, the elder watched, thinking to himself that Zia knew when to move forward and when to back away. He thought Zia was a talented young man. I hope he truly belongs to the King Fong clan, he thought. The elder also thinks about the ancient ruins appearing, wondering if they are a curse or a blessing. After the trouble at the King Fong sect, Zia goes to Fong City to stay safe. It is a busy city with many hotels. The owner of one hotel calls out to people, greeting them and asking if they want a meal or a room. Zia stays at that hotel for a while, focusing on gathering his kai. He holds purple crystals given to him by Uera in his hand. He meditates, focusing deeply and inhaling. Suddenly, he reaches the 72nd layer of kai condensation. He opens his fist and sees the purple crystals have turned to dust. My cultivation is too slow, Zia thinks. Have I hit a limit? He also realizes many days have passed since he left to hide from the King Fong people and wonders if he should return. Meanwhile, Uera is upset. Zia is an idiot for leaving me and going off on his own for so long, she thinks. On the other hand, Zia stays focused on cultivating his kai. After spending several days in Fong City, he decides to leave. The hotel owner sees him and says, farewell. Thank you for staying here. Come again. However, a group of punks in fancy purple robes hears this conversation. As Zia walks, thinking about where to go next, he bumps into one of them. I'm sorry, Zia says right away. But one of the purple-robed men grabs Zia's shoulder. You're being disrespectful, he accuses. The rest of the group surrounds Zia. Zia realizes this is bad. He notices the purple cloud markings on their clothes. These must be from the Zixian sect. He remembers Uera telling him. Come here, one of them orders. I already apologized, Zia replies. What more do you want? He thinks, I've never bothered the Zixian sect before. Why are they doing this? Stop talking nonsense, another member shouts. Come here now. We're in public, Zia responds. Act reasonably. The purple-robed man ignores him and throws a hard punch. But to his surprise, Zia dodges it just in time. The punch barely misses, releasing purple sparkles. Surprised, Zia dodged the attack. The man says a half-spirit bursting realm cultivator can actually survive a full powered attack from someone at the heaven-baking realm. An ordinary person would have died from that strike. Zia, meanwhile, thinks this man is incredibly strong. He must be picking a fight on purpose. The purple-robed man screams. Does Zia have some kind of body armor protecting him? Zia angrily responds. What do you really want? But before he can finish, the man grabs Zia's collar. I want your body armor and nothing else, he snarls. I might even spare your life if you obey like a good servant. Zia insists. I have no body armor. The man replies, I don't believe you. Remove your clothes and let me check the contents of your storage ring. He threatens Zia. Don't get complacent. Zia tries to buy time. I have someone backing me up. The purple robe punks are surprised and begin laughing. One sarcastically asks, "Who is backing you up? Enlighten us so we can be scared." Zia thinks, why aren't they panicking? They may have already looked up my information. He realizes he cannot lie without thinking it through and hesitates. Just as he is about to speak, the purple robe punk who attacked him cuts him off and laughs again. Zia gathers himself. "I am from the Chanu demonic sect." Upon hearing this, the purple robe punks suddenly look alarmed, recalling the two Bustus sisters from that sect. The punk who was grabbing Zia's collar immediately releases him. Clearly afraid, though he tries to put on a brave front, he demands, "Show us the evidence of such bold claims." Zia pulls out a bottle he took from the sister's ring. It contains a pink fluid. He shows it to the purple-robed group. "It's up to you whether you believe me or not." He adds, "I wonder what might happen if I were to accidentally use this fluid on a passing stranger." He explains, "This fluid is an aphrodisiac gifted to me by a senior. You should already know what it is." The purple robe punks become visibly terrified and decide to back off. One of them grudgingly says, "We will spare you this time." Zia immediately retorts, "Why are you acting as though you are doing me a favor? I have done nothing to anyone from the Zishian sect." He then suggests, "Perhaps I should call for one of my seniors and continue the discussion with their involvement." The purple robe group curses in frustration. Zia continues to mock them. "Be careful not to get caught while causing trouble, or else you will be knee-deep in trouble." Once they leave, Zia drops his calm act. He looks frightened and spits out a little blood. "That was too close," he admits to himself. He decides, "I can't stay in Fong City. I need to return to the King Fong clan quickly." After some time, he reaches the gates of the King Fong clan. They lie beyond ladders stretching over steep hills. Zia thinks about the earlier attack. The Zishian sect dared to attack me in broad daylight. If I hadn't said the Tenyu demonic sect's name, I could have died. As he walks and thinks, a white-haired figure stops him. "Stop," Ming says, blocking his path. Zia thinks, is this another Zishian sect attack? But Ming only warns him, "Stay away from Uera, even if you are from the Tenyu demonic sect." Zia asks, "Did you send those people earlier?" Ming laughs. "You have no proof." He adds, "Even if it was me, a small fry like you can't do anything about it." Zia asks, "Why are you doing this? We haven't even met. Are you going too far to sim for a girl?" Ming is arrogant. "Even if I am, nobody can stop me. Kneel 3 times and vow to disappear from Uera's sight forever. Maybe then I will spare you." Zia thinks, this Ming is not normal. It's best not to get involved. He starts to walk away. "Toad," Ming yells, "you dare to dream of being a swan? Look at yourself." Zia replies softly, "I am a nobody." He sarcastically says, "You're so good, so handsome, and so old." This enrages Ming. He throws his hand fan with great power. It slices past Zia's face, cuts a tree in half, and grazes Zia's cheek. Zia is furious. The Zishian sect really likes ambushing people. Just as things are about to get worse, Elder Pan of the King Fong clan arrives. "What are you doing?" he demands angrily. "Fighting between disciples is forbidden. I'm tired of saying this." The old man scolds them both. Ming, in purple robes like the others, bows and acts innocent. "It's all a misunderstanding," he says to Elder Pan. He claims that Zia, a young man with low cultivation, came to him seeking guidance. He says that he was merely demonstrating a few moves. It wasn't a real fight. He turns to Zia and prompts him to confirm his story. Elder Pan recalls that Ming had been caught causing trouble before. Still, he decides to let it slide this time. He warns them not to do this near the clan gates again. He says that next time, he won't be so forgiving. Ming expresses his gratitude and promises to follow the rules. As they begin to leave, Elder Pan pauses and questions their story. But this time, Zia steps in and confirms that he did approach Ming for guidance. However, he adds that Ming is a coward who only seems capable of bullying the weak. Zia says that with Elder Pan as witness, he wishes to challenge Ming to a fair fight on the main stage at the same cultivation base. Zia mockingly asks Ming if he would be too stingy to offer proper advice. Elder Pan thinks to himself that Ming is from the Zishian sect and has infiltrated the King Fong clan, likely because of the ancient ruins. Though he doesn't fully understand the reason behind their conflict, he knows Zia will surely suffer if he goes up against Ming. Still, he remains curious about Zia's intentions. On the other hand, Ming starts laughing in agreement. He even tells Elder Pan that it's rare to find a junior so eager to learn. He adds that actual combat is the best way to grow and to assess one's skills. Eventually, Elder Pan gives them permission to spar, despite being reluctant about the whole deal. A few days later, the match is scheduled. The stage is set, and a crowd gathers to watch the highly anticipated battle between Ming and Zia. Among the crowd, disciples chatter about the fight, as some express surprise that Ming is going to spar with a new disciple. Others recall that Ming is already at the half-heaven-breaking realm and wonder if Zia is at that level too. One of them scoffs, saying, Zia is just a small fry who hasn't even reached the spirit-bursting realm. Zia stands on the stage, calm and expressionless, while the gossip continues. One person says the most important detail is that they're supposedly fighting over a woman. Ming taunts Zia, saying he may hurt him badly and hopes he won't cry. Zia calmly replies that he should return those words to Ming and hopes he won't be the one crying instead. The audience continues to gossip, and one disciple says Zia may look like an ordinary guy, but on his first day, he managed to get close to Uera. Meanwhile, Uera pushes through the crowd to reach the front and watch the match. The crowd recognizes her as the most beautiful and popular female disciple in the King Fong clan, with some mentioning that juniors even started a fan club for her. Uera approaches Zia and asks what he is doing. It has nothing to do with me, Zia replies coldly. Uera flinches at his rudeness. Someone in the crowd mutters, those two definitely have something going on. Ming arrives, greeting Uera with false concern. Don't worry, he assures her. It's just a spar. Uera insists, there is no relationship between me and Zia. Leaning close to Ming, she whispers in his ear, I hate Zia, and I want him taught a lesson. Do whatever you want to him. Ming grins. Since you said so, I won't hold back. Despite the situation, Zia remains calm. Uera then tells Ming, since your cultivation base is so high, you should properly suppress it during the fight. Otherwise, if you accidentally injure Zia too badly, people might accuse you of bullying. She continues, I just happen to have a pill that will help suppress your cultivation base. If you take it, no one will be able to accuse you of using your strength unfairly. I want to see your cool side as you give it your best in the match. Ming takes the pill Uera offers, ingests it, and returns to the ring to face Zia. After some time, Elder Pan steps forward. Let's go over the rules once more. Both sides must restrict their cultivation bases to the spirit condensing realm. Most importantly, attacking with the intent to eliminate is strictly forbidden. With the rules clarified, Elder Pan signals for the match to begin. The crowd erupts in excitement. Ming mocks Zia. You must be either blind or arrogant. He boasts, even though I'm suppressing my cultivation to the spirit condensing realm, my strength is still equivalent to 40 layers of Kai. How does a small fry like you, who came out of nowhere, dare to compete with me? Zia casually responds, is 40 layers of Kai really something worth bragging about? Ming laughs at him, calling him a frog in a well. I'll offer you the first strike, he says. Otherwise, you might die without even getting a taste of the battle. Zia accepts the offer. He steps back, and blue energy begins to swirl around his fist. He clenches it and prepares to strike. While Ming is lost in his arrogance, Zia launches a powerful punch. It lands cleanly on Ming's face. Ming is sent flying across the ring, crashing into the ropes. Everyone, including Elder Pan and the crowd, is stunned. Someone shouts, the match is over. Zia is the winner. But Ming refuses to accept defeat. He ambushed me, he claims. I didn't have time to dodge. Zia lacks martial values. Zia replies, there's no need to be so picky. But if you insist on continuing, then so be it. Zia tells him, a certain saying fits you well, stop while you still can. Enraged by the insult, Ming lunges at Zia. But Zia quickly dodges, and Ming falls face first onto the stage. He screams, Zia, you are courting death. He accuses him again of ambushing. But deep down, Ming begins to question how Zia could have possibly injured him, and why Zia is moving faster than he expected. Zia kicks Ming again, and the crowd begins to murmur in surprise. Some spectators start to suspect that Ming isn't as strong as he claimed. Others believe that Zia might actually be far stronger than he appears. Zia continues to taunt Ming, saying, there's no need to keep fighting. Then he leans in and whispers a secret into Ming's ear. I have actually already condensed 72 layers of Kai. This revelation shocks Ming, as he looks toward Uera in the crowd. He thinks to himself, even if Zia has 72 layers of Kai, he is still a small fry. Ming believes that if he raises his cultivation base slightly, he can crush Zia easily. Ming then secretly raises his cultivation base, which is against the rules of the sparring match. Though no one notices, he launches a flurry of attacks at Zia, who narrowly dodges each one. Zia quickly realizes that Ming's strength has suddenly increased. He suspects that Ming is now using power beyond the spirit condensing realm. Meanwhile, Ming taunts Zia again, asking, why aren't you acting arrogant now? But before he can say anything further, Zia counters with a powerful defensive move that takes Ming by surprise. In the crowd, Uera begins to realize that the pill she gave Ming is starting to take effect. She wonders if she might have caused trouble by giving it to him, but notes that as long as he had suppressed his cultivation properly, there wouldn't have been any issue. However, now that Ming has gone beyond the spirit condensing stage, the pill is triggering unexpected side effects. Ming, unaware of this, glances at Uera and thinks to himself, she is quite clever. It is then revealed that the pill Uera gave Ming has unusual side effects, including ones that she might have intended all along. With Ming breaking the rules and Uera's pill kicking in, things are about to spiral fast. That's all for today. For the next part, make sure to subscribe my channel Fire Recap. And you don't forget to share and like the video. I am out.